Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. For all the talk we've heard for a few years now of saving our democracy, it sure doesn't seem like the Biden administration wants to pay attention to democracy too much, right? Yeah. Okay. Case in point, study came out yesterday. 64% of Americans, including 53% of Democrats, want companies fined or prosecuted for hiring illegals. Isn't that interesting? We're a democracy. Oh, mob rules, right? That's what they keep telling us. We're a democracy, even though they're wrong. We're not, okay? But they keep pounding this through us that, a democracy, majority plus one. Well, 64% is a hell of a lot more than the majority plus one. Even their own party, 53%, is a lot more than the majority plus one. But yet they don't do anything. Let's just let them keep coming. Let's invite them, right? So I went and I did a little bit of research on this. I wanted to see what the cost was to you and me for all these illegals. And I was about floored, okay? New number came out as well that we just broke a record, okay? In November, the immigration courts, the ones that hear all the asylum cases for illegals, for the first time ever, broke the record for the amount of backlog, how many people are in the system awaiting their hearing, to now over 3 million people. Okay, give you this. Just for a case in point, when Trump took over in the White House, okay, 516,000. So just give you an idea of how much. It's not like this is all Joe Biden. We've had illegal immigration problems forever. Biden has just made it astronomically ridiculous at this point because he's rolled out the welcome mat for everybody and said, "Hey, come on in. We'll pay for you, right? Hotels, food, $5,000, whatever." So I went in and I took a look to see how we can solve this, what that's going to take. Okay. And this is where it gets a little interesting. If we just, through the courts, mind you, okay, there's about 600 immigration judges, all right, who handle, on average, 4,500 cases a year. Okay. So that means just basic math tells you we couldn't even, if they shut the border down today and not a single person could file another immigration court case claim, it would take more than a year for all 600 judges at the current averages to listen to everyone, to adjudicate every one of the cases. Now, let's break this out. 4,500 cases a year. There's what, 250 days, working days in a year, ballparkish. Okay. That means the average judge, or on average, the judge would have to hear 18 cases a day. There's 8 hours in a business day. Never known a court to work overtime. Okay. So that means each case would be heard in less than a half an hour. That's how long it's going to take for the government to make the decision on whether or not some Juan or Maria can come across and stay here. Half an hour. Okay. Because, so many court cases in the world, I mean, it's parking ticket cases, traffic violations take damn near a half an hour. Or if there's any, unless you go up there and say, "Yep, I was speeding," then why the hell did you come to court and not pay the ticket anyway, right? Okay. But to get out of a speeding ticket takes longer than it takes to be legally allowed into the United States. Giving you that. Okay. So what's it cost? Well, for that half an hour's time in court, okay, there's a lot of preparation. It's not like all these illegals are coming over with a whole box of documents and a passport and ID and medical records and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they've got to prepare for court, which means, that would be an attorney. Well, let me tell you this. Juan and Maria aren't coming across the border with tens of thousands of dollars in their pocket going, gee, let me go find my immigration attorney. So they've got to find all these charities that will help, okay, that are taking money from you and me. And if there aren't enough charities to help, then, oh, gee, maybe there's a government appointed lawyer. So I looked in to see what the average cost for representation in a immigration case is. Roughly $56,000 per asylum case. Okay? Yeah. Think Juan and Maria are coming over with $56,000? You got $56,000 and you're living in El Salvador, you're doing pretty good. Okay? You're not coming to the United States. So no, those are being paid by the charities, which of course are funded by Hollywood or anything like that. They're funded by, oh, I don't know, Tyson Chicken, who needs to hire a whole bunch of illegals to work in the chicken processing plants. And then the rest of it's paid for by you and me. Okay. Oops, we've got a problem there. You want to know how much that totals? Okay, if we took all the $3 million and went out by $56,000, it's only $168 billion that this is costing the public, the charities, whatever. Okay, all those times that you donate to your church or some of these Save the Children funds or whatever. Yeah, find out how much of that is going into helping illegals. Okay? That's where your money's going. Inadvertently, you may be paying for Juan and Maria to illegally cross the border and then come in the United States. So I looked at the other side. Like, okay, let's see if we can save a few bucks. What if we just said to hell with it and deported every one of them? Okay. They came here. The very first step that they took on American soil was a crime. Okay. And me being familiar with the immigration process, obviously, because Mrs. B's here, okay, one of the things that they have to do is check out your criminal background. And if you have any crimes in your background, they don't let you in. You don't come in. But of course, if you're an illegal, the first act you did, the very first second that you were on American soil, you were a criminal. So let's deport them. The average cost to deport somebody in the United States is a little bit more than $10,000. Whether that's incarceration, feeding them, putting them on a bus, a plane, a boat, kicking them, catapult them across the border, who knows, okay? But those are the costs incurred. So you start thinking about what that would cost just to deport everybody. That would be $30 billion. And I know to Joe Biden and Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell, $30 billion is pocket change. Okay? To the rest of us, it's tax money. It's money that's not spent on giving the military a raise, fixing the highway system, fixing the airports, giving an increase to Social Security, paying the VA doctors. Pick one of those. That's where all this money comes out of. Okay? They're not helping American citizens because we got to get rid of the non-American citizens. And in that respect, you know how they'll twist it. Well, we are helping you. We're deporting these people. If you didn't let them in the first place, we wouldn't have the problem. It goes back to everything else that Joe Biden's doing. Okay? You can't cause a problem and then take credit for fixing it. It doesn't work that way. But this is the thing. As we're in the middle of this de-whitification of the United States, which, pretty much is what they all want to do, which I still get such a kick out of because most of the people screaming for that are white, so they're calling for their own demise. Nobody's saying we want to make America white again. That never happened. That's not what's being said. We want to be the melting pot we always have been. But what seems to be the problem with doing it legally? What? Remain in Mexico? That policy we had? That was good. Why can't these people, rather than walk 1,000 miles across Mexico to come in, why can't they walk 5 miles to the U.S. Embassy in Guatemala and say, I want to apply for political asylum? Because their intention isn't to come here legally. The only way that they ever see an immigration court is if they get caught. And none of them have that intent. That's our mistake, not theirs. Pinball out.